I honestly think I would be doing my child a disservice if I had one right now. I don't even understand myself. I just turned 25. I don't think I need to have a child when I don't know who I am for real. I know who I was. I know who I think I want to be. But I'm still figuring it out, and I don't need to be teaching nobody how to live while I'm figuring everything out.
There are women out there that feel pressured to have kids at a certain age. And there are various reasons as to why some women do not have kids yet or at all. For example, some are more career orientated and choose to have kids later in life, whilst others may want to break generational cycles because they have come from broken homes and do not want to continue on the cycle. And some do not want kids for various reasons, and some may not be able to have kids. Society puts a lot of pressure on women who do not have kids at a certain age, which can make some women feel worthless. But it's your body and it's your choice. Do not let societal norms make you feel that you have some sort of shortcoming because you do not have kids at a certain age. There are women that are still conceiving healthily in their 40s and 50s. Do not let the pressure of others push you into having a baby with someone who is not suitable to be a father and is not going to be in your child's life. Let's break the cycle because we do not want to be attached to a Luke Tawanda Philip Manhamba. Okay? Jokes aside, do what's best for you. I hope this has helped somebody.
I really don't think that it is crazy to think that people who are having children at an astronomical rate, I'm talking 9 children that you cannot afford to raise and care for properly, is unethical and completely irresponsible. Nobody is saying here that people below the poverty line shouldn't have children. However, what I am saying is that people below the poverty line oftentimes have more children than they can afford. Do the parents feel that financial strain? Sure. But you know who feels it more? Those children. Because that choice of those parents to have child after child after child, knowing full well that they can't afford to properly raise them. And I know that people have different definitions for what properly raising entails. For me, that's access to quality education and general well-being. And there are multiple videos of this on this woman's page where she's feeding a grown child, like not an infant, not a toddler, a child, like a single chicken nugget and like 6 French fries. That to me is irresponsible to continue having children when you can't afford to give your child a proper meal. And I don't think it should be controversial of me to say that parents who cannot properly take care of their children simply for the fact that they keep having children because they are irresponsible, I'm not gonna back down from that. It's those children that will feel those effects for the rest of their lives.
Having a child is nothing special, nothing new. You are not leaving a legacy. You've literally contributed nothing to society. You've not helped a single person in your entire lifetime, and you think just because you have a child, your child is now your legacy. I think when a lot of men say that they want to have children so they have a legacy, they just mean that they want to continue their lineage, which is also just a very weird point to make because what function can your lineage serve you when you are dead? But I think people are using the word legacy and lineage interchangeably, which they're not the same thing. I promise you, you won't be remembered. Your child will probably not even remember you because you'll probably be absent in his or her life. But also, let's be honest about it. Most men who say that they want children don't actually want children. If you were to ask them, do you want to change the nappies? No. Do you want to feed the child? No. Do you even want to raise the child? No. But then they will try to convince you that they want a child. Make it make sense. Also, I'm not going to listen to any of the people who are going to come in here with actually they're biologically wired to want a child. We don't care because then they should also be biologically wired to want to raise the child, protect the child, which seems to be rare for them to actually do. And with this recent epidemic of men mentioning more and more that they want to have a child, or that they need to have a child, I should say, there's a cynic in me that thinks it's just a way for them to try and claw back at women's independence. They know that having a child with a woman would mean that that woman is tied to them for life because they share a child together. And we've seen many men weaponize that relationship. And that is literally a tale as old as time. We've seen the TV shows, the movies that have all been made about this phenomenon. of men weaponizing the relationship they have with their child against their partner or ex-partner. But I also think there's an element of it where they know if a woman has a child, it will affect her ability to live a truly independent life, because it will affect her finances, it will affect her career progression, it will affect her ability to have a meaningful, fulfilling social life. And we all know raising a child takes a village. And it's almost a way to kind of have a last laugh if things don't work out for them, because Lord knows they're not looking after their children.
I don't want kids. For a while now, I've been saying that I don't want children. I never have. I don't think I ever will. Everyone tells me, oh, you'll get over it, you'll change your mind, pregnancy is wonderful. I will never, ever, ever want to get pregnant. Sorry, not sorry. I'm terrified of having my legs waxed, let alone labour. I would definitely have to go through the route of adoption. I just feel like we're in 2026 now and we can't be blaming women for not wanting to get pregnant. I don't ever want to get pregnant. I'm probably going to have a few men in my comments saying that's the one thing that a woman is supposed to do. I feel like that should be a decision that's up to me. I don't want to have a pregnancy. Every time I say that I don't want kids, there's always a grown woman saying you're going to change your mind. Except every single film about pregnancy shows you how awful it is and the pain you go through. Surely I can't be the only person out there who doesn't want kids.
The truth is, a lot of people just want to have kids. They haven't actually thought of what it means to become parents. My cold hot take is that having kids is fundamentally selfish. And before people start, I don't think selfish is necessarily a bad thing. But I do know that nobody asked to be here. There is nothing that somebody could do when they're not in existence to come into existence. There's a fundamental difference between having kids and becoming parents. And I wish that more people viewed parenthood as the latter. Parenthood is also vast. It goes much beyond the existence of dependence. It is the capacity to develop and raise participating members of society. Having kids, the creation of life from scratch, is for the people that are already living. And selfish is not an inherently bad thing. It means we are doing things with the interest and prioritization of ourselves at the forefront. We must be selfish in our life choices. Imagine choosing a college because of what you could bring the university, not what that university is doing for you. It may seem small, but I think acknowledging the accountability of procreating and then childbearing is very, very important. I see a lot of benefit in shifting our perspective to viewing parenthood through that more selfish lens. Having the capacity to reproduce doesn't mean that you do it effectively. And I'm thinking about parents who resent their kids, parents who have a certain expectation of being repaid for creating their kids.
People are freaking out about the declining birth rate, but can we talk about why it's not that big of a disaster everyone says it is? The way some people talk about birth rate, you feel like every adult has a duty to produce children for society, when that's not the case. Having kids is and should be a personal choice, not a civic responsibility. If you want children, that's amazing. If you don't, that's okay too. The fact that birth rates are declining isn't proof that society is failing. In many cases, it's proof that people, especially women, have more freedom to decide what they want their lives to look like. For most of history, people did not really have a choice. And let's be honest, if governments and politicians are worried about people not having kids, maybe the solution is not forcing people to reproduce. Maybe it's making childcare affordable, healthcare affordable, housing affordable. People should never have kids because they're guilted or shamed into it. They should have them because they genuinely want them and can provide a good life for them. A society is not entitled to your body, your time, and your future children. The goal shouldn't be higher birth rates at any cost. The goal should be giving people the freedom, the choice, and the resources to decide what's right for them.
They convince you to get married and have kids young to trap you in this system. Because once you have kids and once you have a mortgage payment, you're trapped, babe. You have to work for the rest of your life. Like, you literally have no other choice. And marriage was originally created as a business contract. It was never about love. Do I think true love exists? Yes, but I think you just need to ask yourself some deeper questions here. If it was truly this beneficial, why are they pushing it on us so hard? And why are they pushing it on us at such a young age? You don't even know yourself before 25. I'll even go as far as to say 30. I'm 27 and I'm still learning so much about myself. So just think about why they push it on women, especially at such a young age. Because once you get a little taste of freedom and your frontal lobe develops, you realize, wow, there's so much more to life than this. I don't have to do this, actually. And we have been programmed our entire lives to believe that the meaning of life is to have children and get married, when really the meaning of life is to have experiences and learn to love yourself and do things that fulfill you. Why are you living your whole life for other people? That's not what the meaning of life is. That's not why you were brought here. They wouldn't spend so much money programming you from a young age if you were the one genuinely benefiting off of it. They want you trapped in this system, so you have no other choice but to make other people wealthy.
When people say you can't plan for kids, it takes everything in me not to roll my eyes, and it fills me with a sense of existential stress for them and for the future of their kids, because it's not true. It is just not true. You can plan for kids just like you can plan for anything else. Of course, you can't prepare for every single potential outcome. They're an autonomous little being. You have no idea what's going to happen in that right. However, that doesn't mean you can't plan in other ways. Just because you can't plan for everything doesn't mean you shouldn't plan for anything. You can financially plan. You can make sure you and your partner are in couples therapy and aligned on the things that counts. That is planning. You can plan lifestyle shifts. There's lots of ways you can tangibly prepare and think through what parenthood looks like long term. And my fear is the people who say you can't plan for kids are the people who feel so overwhelmed by these details that they avoid it entirely. And they've never thought through parenthood past the baby phase. And it is my opinion that that is no way to prepare your world for bringing a new life into it. Preparing and planning is not about controlling every aspect of the chaos. It's about identifying what you can control, figuring out if this is what you really want for the rest of your life, and making sure your environment is prepared.
Can I give you some advice, honey? I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but I just feel the need to say this to you. If you are not 100% sure if you want children, 100% sure. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Okay? I can tell by your comment that you are not sure. Don't do it. And this is not me saying don't have kids, period. But I can tell that you are on the fence. I said this before. If you are on the fence about having children, don't do it. Okay? You got to look at yourself in the mirror every single day and think about the possibility that you might be doing that shit by yourself. If you are okay with doing that shit by yourself, then maybe you should consider it. I wouldn't do it though if I were you. You said it yourself. You cannot bring a child into this world where you don't even feel safe and secure. I personally would not do the same. That's just me though.
People say having kids is really, really tough, but if you actually just don't have them, it's pretty easy. It's not that hard at all if you just don't have them. That's what I've learned, because for me, I'm not having any struggles with the not having of them. It's been relatively easy going.
Do you not want kids because you just don't want kids, or do you not want kids because you don't want to have them in Western society? This has been such a big discussion between me and a few of my friends who are also on the we don't know if we want kids train or we don't want kids train. And I think it's so interesting because I genuinely, one of my biggest worries about having children is I know that when you have a kid, you're going to love it with your whole heart. You're going to do everything it wants. You're going to want to make it happy. You're going to want to let it have all the experiences it wants. And if my kid wants to be a hockey boy, or my kid wants to be a soccer kid, or my kid wants to dance, all those things, I'm going to make that happen for them, and I'm going to do that. If I'm stuck in a hockey arena or I'm stuck in a dance studio, I know I'm going to enjoy it for them, but I'm also low-key going to hate my life because that's not for me. I'm not shaming anyone who it is for. Don't twist this. Some people just don't want that lifestyle, and that's okay. We're all different people. I have such close friends that love that lifestyle, and that's amazing, and I'm so happy for them, but it's just not what I want. So lately, I've been discussing with my friends, what if you lived in Mexico? What if you lived in Mexico and your kids ran around the beach butt naked, learned how to surf, were raised in a different culture, and Mexico is just an example, okay? But as an example, then would you change your mind? I just think it's such an interesting discussion. It's really making me think about if I live somewhere hot, which me and my husband are trying to figure out what our next 5 to 10 year plan is and where we want to live. And that's something that keeps coming up is if we move somewhere hot, I'm you know what, I could maybe see myself having kids there. And if you're somebody who's gonna come on and just like shame me for discussing this even, Paige isn't for you, babe. Paige isn't for you. It's fine. It's okay. It is for the girls who are unsure if they want to have kids in general, or who are like on the fence being like, maybe I just don't want kids here, you know?
The idea that a woman who does not want to have a child is selfish and lazy is one of the most powerful ways that people try to control the reproductive decisions that women have. By labeling women who don't want to have children as selfish or lazy, we try to create a moral failing within the women who don't want to have children. And the reality is the reasons for not having children are many and they're complex. And I'm willing to bet that the people who don't have children think about not having kids versus having kids so much more, so many more times. They answer the question of why are you not having children so many more times than people who have children. A lot of people have children because they think they just have to do it. A lot of people have children because that's the thing to do in the next stage of life. And I think that's great. If you want to have kids, that's amazing. If you've been intentional about becoming parents, that's even more amazing. But not having children does not make you selfish and lazy. The reason this comment is important to address is because this type of weaponization of moral characteristic judgments are used very harshly against women who don't want to have children, and it's used to diminish them.
All right, y'all, that is a wrap for today's video. I just want to say a special shout out to the Child Free Gang. Thank you guys once again for all your continued support for this channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, video ideas, or anything else, please send me your email request to childfreelt@gmail.com. Again, childfreelt@gmail.com. Okay. So once again, thank you guys so much for the continued support of this channel. Thank you for getting me to over 6,000 subscribers. If you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that the comment button, and please make sure you put new subscriber on my channel. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to check you guys out in my next one. Bye.